So, welcome back. Today's February 4th. We're at the start of February. February is a quick month, but it's my birthday month. So, that's pretty exciting. And I have a couple ideas for what I want to post videos about, but the funnest one I could come up with is potentially sewing a birthday dress together. Just me and you. My biggest obstacle with sewing a birthday dress really was figuring out, what am I going to sew? What dress do I want? I went back and forth. Do I just want a birthday blouse? Do I want birthday pants? And historically, I always do a dress. I'm willing to think outside of the box, but I was just feeling really uninspired by a lot of dresses. But then this morning it hit me. I've been wanting to make a sheer Ora Pinafore with some edits for, I don't know, probably 4 years. This has been in my head. I bought the Ora Pinafore pattern a long time ago, and I just have never gotten around to making it. The main reason, the print at home file is 67 pages. That's so many pages. That's almost 70 pages to have to print out and cut out and then piece together at home. Now, since I want to do a sheer version, and here's the other thing too, is I picked up the perfect fabric for this project when I was in Japan 2 years ago. And I still haven't gotten around to making it. I think I've just built it up in my head so much that I just am feeling some sort of hesitancy. Of course, there's a big fear it's not going to turn out the way I want it to. That's natural, but that doesn't mean we don't go for it, right? Pretty sure. So what I want to do is make that. That's going to be my birthday dress. It's not going to be like the whole outfit because it's going to be sheer. I don't really know what it's going to look like to style it, but it's been in my head for a while. We're going to do it. We're going to execute. So I did take a peep at the pattern file and kind of looked at the pattern pieces that I need to make the version that I want. And it turns out I only have to print pages 2 to 42, which is much more reasonable and attainable. So what we're going to do is we're going to start. This is where most sewing projects start, is by printing the pattern and piecing everything together. Another thing that will be really fun about this video is that, most of it will be done at home in my sewing studio. Didn't go over this in my first video, but this is my office. This is where I work. And so it's where I spend a lot of time. Obviously, who doesn't spend a lot of time at work? But it also always has the best lighting. My home sewing studio, not great with lighting, but we're gonna do our best. We're gonna record in the dark. We're gonna just embrace the mess of the process. And yeah, you'll get to see where the magic happens. And the magic is sewing clothes. Let's be clear. All right, let's get started. Greetings. 'Tis another day. We have the pattern printed out. It's cut out. Today we're piecing it together and then maybe even cutting out my size and then maybe even thinking about what we're gonna do for a muslin, which should be pretty interesting because I need to find something that has a lot of drape. So yeah, this will be interesting. Maybe we'll even edit the pattern. I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Oh, this is the sewing room. Welcome to the sewing room. Technically it's called the activity room because we don't just sew in here, but yeah, this is it. Let's get started. Hello, welcome. Here we are, another day of trying to make this dress. Yesterday afternoon, a lot of things happened, and it was kind of crazy. My mic died, and then my phone died, which is what I'm recording on. And so then I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just doodle on my iPad a bit. Then my Apple Pencil died with my iPad, and I looked at my iPad battery, and that was about to die. And then I was like, I wonder how long my phone's been charging. I looked at my watch, that was dead. I was like, did I get stuck in some sort of weird power sucking vortex? I don't know what happened, but I kept working on things even though I couldn't record. I'm realizing why I put off this project for so long as well, because it's a lot. So far, well, first of all, on my iPad, I did some doodles. I was trying to figure out the exact shape I wanted. I knew I wanted to alter this pattern to create like a ruffled tier. I knew I wanted asymmetry. And yeah, that's about all I knew, but there's a lot of different combinations we can do with that. So I did some sketches, sent them to my friends, ultimately decided that my favorite was number 3. So that's what we're doing now. So let's see. Yeah, so these are the 2 front pieces. Maybe I can stand up and give like a little bit of a visual. Oops, sorry, that's probably really annoying close to the mic. But yeah, so if we line up the center, we can see how the front bodice is going to look. And then we have to create the coinciding back pieces. Yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to figure out a way to shoot some B-roll to kind of show you what I'm working on here. But essentially, I need to line up the side seam so that when I create the ruffled panel, everything kind of goes cohesively and yeah, creates the drape and shape and silhouette that I'm wanting. So yeah, I've done the right front, right back, and I've done left front, and all I have left to do is the left back. So yeah, that's what we're working on this morning, and then hopefully I can cut out and muslin. I'm just going to, for the muslin, do these top 4 pieces. Another design challenge I'm going to have is like the edges. I think I'm going to try to do bias binding, and because it is kind of a sheer fabric, French seams. The Ora Pinafore as a pattern has like a whole facing. So you basically cut the bodice out and it folds in and then you top stitch. I can't do that with this fabric because it's sheer. So I'm going to play around with bias binding and French seams. I think I'm going to try to do that with the muslin and see how it goes. Because I don't want to get to like the good fabric and realize that it's a disaster. So for the muslin, we're looking at sizing, specifically how it fits around my bust and we're looking at where the tiers fall and if I'm happy with that. Then we'll next need to alter 4 more pattern pieces to create the ruffle. This is a bit of a process, which I didn't realize, but we're gonna figure it out. Here is the muslin. I only did a bias binding on one side because I just wanted to make sure that I could bind like this bias binding in with this like top stitching hiding part, and I could, and it worked out great. I think the fit is good. Basically everywhere hits exactly where I want it to. So I wanted this to hit right where my, like right below my bust. Wanted this to hit right up my waist, which some of these are a little bit low, but once because I'm not going to leave a raw edge, once I do like a rolled hem or even just a, I don't know, regular folded hem, it's going to be like right where I want it to hit. And so then from the side, this piece ends right below my butt. And then this one hits right at the start of my butt. So like this is like drop waist, bust to drop waist, and then waist to below butt, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. I might try it on with a different bra. I'm just wearing a sports bra right now. Because this will be a sheer dress, I am going to wear like a long sleeve shirt underneath it. I did all the seams with a 5/8 seam allowance because I'm gonna do a French seam. Yeah, I don't think I need any extra over here, but I'm going to try it on with a different bra just in case. Yeah, can you see the vision coming together? Hopefully you can. Hello. I wanted to do a very brief update on the patterning process for the birthday dress. I have completely edited all of the pattern pieces now, which is total 8 pieces. They're ready to go. And once I edited all of those pieces, I realized that I really needed to think about how I was going to put the dress together. And so I went ahead and I wrote down all the steps like in order, that way I can reference them in my little creative journal. Basically what's going to need to happen is I'm going to have to create one half of the dress and then the other half of the dress, and then combine them in the front middle and then combine them in the back middle. What this means is that I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of stay stitching on the bodice to make sure that it doesn't warp at all, and that's okay, we can handle that. So far I have cut out the 4 skirt pieces and we're gonna put those together first. I'm really gonna have to do this in segments because I don't want anything to warp too badly. I really feel like I need to carve out a decent chunk of time to dedicate to cutting, stay stitching, piecing everything together, because I thought I had a ton of this fabric, and it turns out I don't. I have like literally the perfect amount to complete the dress. But if I make any mistakes, like if I've miscalculated any of the skirt pieces, or if something ends up wonky or I don't like it, we don't really have an option for that. So that makes me a little nervous, but we're still moving forward. Next up is sewing together the skirt pieces and then doing the, which is really just sewing together the side seams, and then I'm gonna do a rolled hem on top and then a 1/4 inch hem twice on the bottom. And then we're gonna move on to the bodice, which I'm very, very excited about. It's really coming together. But we're gonna keep moving on. Good morning. It's maybe not morning for you, but it is for me here right now in this moment. We have a lot to get done. Today is February, I don't know, but what is today? I didn't mention this before, but my birthday is conveniently the very last day of February. It's February 28th. So this means that we had all month to get this dress done, and we've got to get moving. So hopefully we're successful. If not, it's not that big of a deal. I don't have any plans to wear this dress on my birthday. I don't have any like fancy dinner plans or anything right now. So I really am just trying to make this vision come to life. And if only I do that, I think that's okay. So here we go. Okay, very sad news. We've run out of thread. I don't really know how this happened. It's navy thread. I sew with navy thread all the time. I wear a lot of navy things, but I have no more navy thread. I found another poly navy, but it's pulling a little too red. And it's not gonna go well with this. And I found a cotton navy, and again, it's pulling a little too red. And the vision is just too important for me to not wait for the thread that I want/need. So unfortunately, I think we might be done sewing for the weekend, and there's still a small possibility this gets done in time for my birthday, but seems unlikely. But we'll see what pieces I can continue to work on, and hopefully I'll keep chugging away. I don't know though. I'm feeling a little discouraged, but I'm gonna order this thread ASAP. Hi. It is March 3rd, which means we did not get the dress done in time for my birthday, which I think probably a lot of us saw coming, but it's totally fine. We're still gonna get it done. This past weekend was my birthday, and I had a really incredible time. We went on a little weekend trip and did a bunch of shopping, which was, yeah, it was so great. It was so fun. So we got back on Saturday evening, and on Sunday I did a lot of work on the dress. So once I got the thread in the mail, I was able to finish the skirt panels, and then on Sunday I cut and stay stitched all of the bodice pieces. And then I started constructing one half of the dress. I started with the left half, and I put the bodice pieces together. It came together really seamlessly, added the skirt, and I'm very happy with how the first half turned out. Looks really great. Next, I just need to do the right half, and we're working on that. I've been working on it slowly and surely. It's Tuesday now. So in little small segments, I've been working on the right half, and I definitely think it's possible that by tomorrow or Thursday, we'll have a completed dress. And I can't wait to show you guys how it turns out. I'm really happy with it so far. Knock on wood. Hello. It's March 5th. And the dress is still not done. And I know what you might be thinking, Madeline, is that not the dress you're wearing right there? And to that, I would say astute observation. It is indeed the dress. But I've run into a bit of a problem. Let me show you. Okay, so here's the front, right? Great, perfect. Good length. I love where the ruffles hit. Needs a little bit of steam to get the texture back, but when I turn to the side, something happened back here. This is not supposed to be happening, but overall, everything else is looking quite good. So what I need to do is go in and seam rip. Luckily, I did do a basting stitch in the back because I had a feeling when I was putting it together, something didn't quite look right. As I was ironing, it looked like the corner was curved. So I had a feeling something was wrong. I still went forward with it because I thought maybe kind of like the weight of the skirt would pull it straight and taut. I see now that's not gonna happen. It's crazy we didn't run into a snafu up until this point, so I guess it's expected to happen in the very last step. So this morning we are seam ripping. I've already seam ripped the back center, and I've decided we're gonna do this edit the right way, which means I now also have to seam rip a little bit of the ruffle. And I feel good that I cut these on like the proper grain line. So really what I need to do is really just unpick a little bit and pivot this piece a little bit so that it follows a straight line. So that is what we're working on right now. We're seam ripping, and then we're gonna hopefully just repin. I don't want to have to redo gathers. I'm thinking I can do it just with pinning. So Charlie's here, she's helping. See if she'll come up and say hello. She's very purry, but time to get to work. Okay, I think I have straightened it out. It still looks a little wonky. So even though I have aligned things and straightened them, I'm wondering if I still might need to do some trimming. We're gonna take it to the sewing machine and see what works out. Okay, so I'm at a point where I'm like pretty confused. I have completely torn out the whole like back half and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut to try to get like this straight line and like altering the pattern. But as you can see, I've pinned it once more. There's still some weird like curve happening. I'm gonna baste it again and see if hopefully the kind of like the weight of the fabric is enough. The weight of the fabric and the gathers is enough to hide this curve, but I'm not feeling great about it. We're at a point too where I've shaved away so much from these back pieces. Like that looks like maybe there's some hope here still. But I don't even think like the pattern pieces that I made are worth keeping because they seem so wonky. I'm confused about how the front is like perfect and immaculate, but the back is just really wonky for whatever reason. But I'm gonna baste this and we'll see. Greetings. The dress is finally done. After lots and lots of unpicking, readjusting, shifting, I finally just ended up sewing the back seam together, then laying the dress down flat and creating a straight line and stitching along that. And we have some results. I wanted to show some footage of me styling the dress now that it is actually here. But first I want to talk through logistics. YouTube is hard. I found out during the making of this video that one, my microphone does not totally stay connected all of the time. So I had a lot of audio issues, even times when like the lights are green and everything seems to be functioning fine. I go back and I look at the footage and I can see that the microphone was not hooked up or connected. Something went amiss. So that was really hard and a challenging thing I ran into with this video. Another thing I didn't realize to this last step, I have nowhere in my apartment or in this space in my office. It's a big office. I have nowhere for me to set up the camera in this format, this like, what is this, landscape? There's nowhere for me to set up in landscape format and capture my whole body. So you can see my shoes and the top of my head. No way for me to do that. So in order to kind of show styling and like the finished product, the finished sewing project is going to be like in portrait mode, and that's just how I'm gonna have to film things, which is a little frustrating and annoying to me, but whatever, we're just gonna work with what we have. So let me get into the styling. This first way that I styled the dress is kind of the original vision. I wanted a like sheer elegant piece that I could simply wear with like a black turtleneck and black leggings. I have these perfect little like sock booties that I got actually in Barcelona a really long time ago. They're from Zara, but I've had them for, oh my gosh, close to 9 years now, and they've served me really well. I love this silver accent on the heel, and I pulled the silver accents into my earrings, and then I styled it with this chunky pearl chain necklace. I really like this necklace, but I do have a hard time styling it. I don't know if this is really it, but I'm really happy with how the dress looks with the simple basic turtleneck and leggings. The next way I styled it was a bit more casual, a little bit more fun. I actually was just wearing this outfit when I finished the dress and just threw it on, and I was like, oh, actually I really like this. So just this simple striped top from Uniqlo, and these pants are some navy linen Pomona pants that I made long time ago. They're a simple basic. I styled it with these baby blue flats and some fun sardine earrings and a little fun necklace I kind of made. It's a silver chain that I found, and this star pendant is actually a Glossier lip gloss pendant that fell off my lip gloss, and I was like, I'll keep this and see if I can turn it into something else. So yeah, this one is a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more playful, casual, less dressy, less sophisticated. This next outfit, I really wanted to challenge myself to pull in some warm elements, and it kind of started with the cowboy boots. I wanted a way to kind of pull in these like masculine snakeskin fun cowboy boots and style the dress with it. Underneath is a handmade self-drafted dress that I made in this warm taupe beige material that I got from Joann Fabrics ages ago. I also threw on this scarf. This scarf is new. It's from my birthday trip, my birthday shopping trip. I really like the way it also has warm and cool in it, and I paired all of it with some gold accent jewelry. I had originally styled this with a really cool like paperclip necklace with a fish pendant on it, and when I brought everything into the office to style and record, somehow this paperclip necklace went amiss. So just imagine this outfit also with this cute fish pendant. It looks really great cohesively. This was kind of a shot in the dark, this styling, and I actually think it is my favorite of all the things that I came up with. So it worked out. This is the dress. We made it. The vision came to life. Hopefully this process wasn't too nauseating to follow along with. If you made it this far, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. I hope maybe you learned a little bit about the drafting, editing, hacking process when it came to this pattern. I still struggled a little bit. There's clearly a lot I have to learn with this process, but I really am happy with the results. I think I will wear this dress a million different ways. It's very versatile, and it fits into my wardrobe in a really fun and seamless way. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. This has been the making of my birthday dress. And let me just note that today is March 11th. So it took us a full like month and a week, month and a half to really get this vision to come to life with all the other responsibilities of life. If you enjoyed the styling, let me know. If there was a particular outfit that was your favorite, please let me know. But aside from that, I'll see you guys next time.